On my continuing video series on the very unconstitutional and very un-American H.R. 5717 that was put forth in Congress and presented by none other than Hank Johnson from Georgia, who actually thought that an island, the island of Guam, would tip over, would capsize.
My fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
See, that's the kind of people who are actually putting forth this type of legislation like this. Clearly, Hank did not write this. I wanted to put forth a video that spelled out the actual cost of it. You know, a lot of times we look at bills like this and we look at the unconstitutional things that they push in there that are going to cost you and I money. But until you start to quantify that, you don't really see the true dollar figure that's going to be associated with what they're trying to put forth. I tried to take the time today to do that so you could actually put a true dollar number to it and say, wow, that's going to cost me that. What I'm going to base everything off of on this particular video is, let's just say we're buying one of the most popular guns out there, a Glock in 9mm, and we're looking at buying two types of ammo. We're going to buy one box of practice ammo and one box of self-defense ammo. We're going to round this, just for the sake of doing it, that we're going to pay $550 for our Glock. We're going to say $20 for the practice ammo, and we're going to say $30 for the self-defense ammo. You're now going to be required to have a federal license to purchase that ammo and to purchase that firearm. So if we base licenses and training that's going to actually have to accompany that license, because you will not get this license unless you go through a type of training, let's associate this with kind of like a concealed carry certification. So you're going to have to pay the person training you, because somebody has to qualify you, roughly in that $125 range. I know there's people that charge less than $125, and of course there's people that charge more than $125. But let's just stick with $125. Now, that's to get you certified. Once you get certified, now you're qualified with the state who's going to receive that grant funding money from the federal government. So now the state's going to issue you that federal license, and possibly it comes from the federal government since it is a federal license, but there's grant money associated with that. So whoever administers that is going to require a fee. Right now in the state of Louisiana, I think ours is $125 also. So that's $250 already if you're a first-time gun buyer that you're going to have to pony up before you actually will own any ammo or a firearm. Now we're going to have 30% tax. That's going to be a penalty for you buying that gun. So if you've got 30% piled on top of that $550 gun, now we're looking at an additional $165 on top of the $550 that you were already paying for that Glock. The ammo doesn't seem quite so bad because the number's not quite so big, but it's a 50% penalty, a 50% tax on your ammunition. So we're buying $50 worth of ammunition. We're going to have a $25 penalty, a $25 tax. Another thing that you're going to have to purchase, again, these are all things that will make you legal in the federal government's eyes. Another thing piled into H.R. 5717 is their, quote, safe storage. You will be required by law to purchase an approved safe. Well, this is something that most people are like, well, I'm not going to buy that. Well, again, this whole point of this video is these are the things that if you are going to stay a legal gun owner and do everything by the law based on H.R. 5717, you're going to have to buy. Let's just say an average in the middle, run-of-the-mill, not great safe, but not piece of garbage safe is about $80. So throw that cost on top of this also. Again, we're trying to remain legal in the federal government's eyes here. So your $550 firearm purchase, along with your $50 ammunition purchase, which is overall $600, of course, you just added $640 additional dollars to that. Additional dollars. You're not going to walk out of the store without these things. You're not going to bring this gun home without adding that extra $640 if you want to remain a legal, law-abiding gun owner. So you've just taken a $600 purchase, turned it into a $1,200 and something purchase. That's not including the sales tax that you would have paid along there. And these are assumed increases in price also. There's other things that you're going to pay for too. These are just the ones that I can actually put my finger on. You want to know the other things that are going to drive all these costs up? There's a gun buyback built into this, along with a slew of other things increasing the number of ATF agents by 600 and something. All these things are actually going to drive your overall taxes up. Somebody's got to pay for this. So your federal tax is actually going to go up too. Lawsuits. Now the ammo manufacturers and the firearm manufacturers can be sued for idiots that are doing stupid things. If some fool misuses a gun and misuses the ammo and goes and shoots a school up or a church or a mosque or something like that, now all those parishioners in that church or all those kids' parents at that school can now sue the firearms manufacturer, who it was no fault of theirs that their kid or some crazy loon in their community took it upon themselves to misuse the firearm against every single safety precaution that you'll find in a manual and all the safety rules that these gun manufacturers and ammo manufacturers are trying to push. These people are going to misuse these guns because evil exists out there, folks. We can't deny that. And now people are going to sue the gun manufacturers just because the federal government is now going to let them. Guys, remember this whenever you see all this HR 5717 and any other gun bill that they're trying to push through. You know, they're trying to slide through some of these things in the next coronavirus relief bill. Some of these things are actually going to be in there. Whenever you hear people like me make a big deal out of HR 5717 and a whole bunch of the other bills that they're trying to sneak through like thieves in the night, this is why. It's because if we sleep on this one, we're going to incur tons of additional costs out there. Look, this firearm license that you're going to have to get, it's renewed every 10 years, so you have that to look forward to also. But again, I hear a lot, and I hear a lot of this on the comment section on the videos on YouTube. Oh, that'll never pass. Oh, that'll never pass. Why are you making a big deal out of that? We don't need to worry about that. Oh, the Senate will not allow that to pass. Oh, the president will veto that. Go ahead and sleep on these bills. And I'm saying this sarcastically and facetiously. Sleep on these bills. Sleep on these bills, and those very people who are complacent and sitting back and acting like I don't need to do anything and I don't need to get worked up because these bills will never pass are the very ones who will complain about all these additional costs that they're going to incur whenever these bills do in fact pass, because you were too busy worried about watching Netflix and Tiger King while all the coronavirus stuff was going on, and they slid these things through like thieves in the night. Let's remember that, folks. Don't do that. Don't do like those idiots do. Let's worry about that now. Let's go ahead and send our letters to our congresspersons, our senators, the president, and all that. I'll post some of mine here, my responses from my own politicians from my own state of Louisiana. Phone calls, nothing replaces a phone call. Try a phone call. Guys, never be afraid to be the safest person in a room and the deadliest. Let's push these guys. Let's make sure that they know that we're out here and we are watching them.